What's up? Let's go. A little bit of crowdfunding, a little bit of news, and we got to talk some hotness too, because it's what we do. The hotness. You ready? I don't have anything else in the open here, right? We're going to just go straight into what have I seen, where are things at, what are some new things on the block this past week or so, because I may have forgotten one of them last week. But first up, I was perusing Board Game Geek, just curious, as always, and there's more Unmatched news. Did you hear about this or did you not? Did you hear? Unmatched The Witcher is finally in Board Game Geek. We have Unmatched Steel and Silver and we have Unmatched Realms Fall. Now, there are absolutely zero details on either of this. Generic descriptions as a whole. All you get is 3 characters and 2 battlefields, right? That's what we're getting more than anything else in both of these expansions, I believe. So does that intrigue you? Does that entice you? I mean, I questioned, in the upcoming games of the year sort of video earlier this month, are we going to see exactly what they've got going on? Are we going to see crowdfunding? Are we going to see retail? It looks like retail right now. There's no mention of crowdfunding. There's absolutely no news whatsoever. But the more interesting note, because that's the other reason I'm saying that's going to be retail, is because the forums, or apparently over on Restoration Games' Discord server, they have informally announced that there is going to be a follow-up to this, Tales of Amaze, right? Tales to Amaze, right? So we're going to see more of that sometime in quarter 3. Are we in quarter? We're in quarter 3, just kidding. And so what's it going to be? More bosses? That's what I've been clamoring for, right? More adaptability for some of the sets that are out that can be ported into that game as a boss style of things. That's what I want. Sort of like your Arcadia quests when they were able to port that over with the other version of that. So that's what is going to be interesting to me. That's what's on the list. And I mean, again, how much Gadzooks money is it going to raise in the first place? So that's why it's going to be talked about at the start of the news video here, right? Like just throwing money at retail screens and computers right now as a whole. So that is going to be the first one up. Also, again, sort of a trend. I covered it in the top retail games of the second half, right? I talked about several 2-player dueling games. We had the Star Wars. We talked about the previous last year's Splendor. We talked about the upcoming King of Tokyo one. Well, guess who else is jumping on that bandwagon? Everdell is jumping on it. It's Everdell Duo. Whoa. Does that intrigue you? Right? I mean, I know people play Everdell already as a 2-player game. I mean, more compact, more streamlined. How are you going to make it that much different? Like, at least with some of those other games, I mean, the dynamics are, I can understand how the dynamics are going to be dramatically different. With this one, I'm struggling. Is it going to be more Everdell in name rather than actual, right? And aesthetic, but not actual gameplay? That's what it feels like to me off the cuff. So we'll kind of see what they've got in store, but I have no clue what to make of that one. Because a lot of the other 2 players, I mean, like, duels are, all the rage, apparently, right? Like 7 Wonders reskin with Lord of the Rings. Anyway. Azul. Do you have enough Azul? Are there enough editions of Azul? Well, don't worry, don't fret. In case you ever wanted to put your copy of Azul in your pocket and bring it with you everywhere you went and not just put it in the back of your car and never be able to get it out whenever you bring it anywhere, you can now pick up a mini edition of Azul. They're coming out with mini editions, like almost like pocket-sized Azul. So, I mean, right? It's sort of tiny epic jumping the shark. Just kidding. I think it's clever. I think it's nice, and you'll get people to buy it. So I don't have any problem with Azul. I think, probably, truth be told, Classic is still the most cut throat and the most appealing on a, play-by-play basis for me. But Summer Pavilion was okay too. I'll give a little kudos to Summer Pavilion. So that is also what's going on. Then Dorfromantik. Dorfromantik is getting a new edition, and this is the Sakura edition. So Pegasus Spiel is bringing us this edition, standalone sequel successor to the Spiel des Jahres winner. And we're going to see you take on the idealistic landscape of Japan with many new challenges. And Sakura is, as they say, the Japanese word for cherry blossom, which is a new element. 40 more achievements, 6 more boxes to unlock, more surprises to await players. I don't know. I never played the first one. I never played the video game. I mean, I'm fine with Zen stuff. It's just not always my thing, right? I, prefer a little cutthroat like we get with the Azul that we just mentioned. So, I mean, I guess there's already some pre-orders up at places with, like Miniature Market and that sort of thing. But compatibility wise, mix and match wise, unlock wise, availability in the first place, release wise, no idea. And we'll just kind of have to wait and see. Then Keymaster Games is bringing us a new Parks game. If you guessed Parks Duo, you're wrong. Just kidding. You know, right? Like, I couldn't do that with a straight face because, I mean, we're not seeing a dual version of this, but we are getting a roll and hike. Newest edition, diciest edition, as they say. You're drafting dice, logging your selections in your journal, and, well, record your time through mountains, forests, fields, and keep track of all the wildlife you spot in the first place. Again, you got your 6 United States national parks. Each of them bend the rules of the game and create a new experience each time you visit them. So it's portable, like I was just mentioning with the mini Azul. Is this intriguing to you? Is it going to be different enough from the original parks? Again, like, as I said previously, I think the best roll and write games are the ones that are created uniquely as roll and writes, not trying to copy mechanics that are thrown in other games. But we'll see with something like this, which has, you know, really good pedigree in the first place, and the upcoming release shortly before the end of the year of Cascadia's Duo as well. So interesting, going to be comparison-wise head to head there with both the nature themes in the first place. Then, I mean, again, I told you, short news week, right? 2 crowdfunding games of note they're going to be launching this upcoming week. It's sort of a big drop off the end of July, right? Big heavy front, big drop off at the end. The big one that you're going to maybe have on your sort of radar a little bit is launching over in GameFound. They just let out another update or two in the last week or so. Ascension Legends, a new version of Ascensions in form of the Legends edition. So they're going to offer a whole bunch of back catalog. They're going to offer a whole bunch of new stuff in terms of promos and more content. And the question is, you know, sort of, it gives me vibes of DC deck building, if you will, of the, can you revive it and do really well in crowdfunding when you throw a little bit of promos for the, speaking of nostalgia, the nostalgia people. I was talking about the Labyrinth board game yesterday and my lack thereof for nostalgia for that. But I mean, there's a lot of hardcore people, right? For like the Dominions and the Ascensions and those ilks, that people are going to bite into this, like the DC, right? And so if they're offering some exclusivity, there's offering, I mean, they're promo junkies out there for this game, just like those other 2 that I mentioned. What's the price point going to be? Where is it going to land? I mean, Stoneblade Entertainment here, they're going full force. The latest update has promo cards galore written on there. New promo card every day, so 16 of them to enhance your play area. And we're just going to kind of see what else they have in store. I mean, collector's case, sleeves, playmat, 6-player games, a plushie. Okay. I mean, you know, is that really intriguing to you as a whole? If you're looking at this game from a game standpoint, legendary playboard that works with any other deck set, legendary hero cards, tokens, upgrades, new mechanics that are going to be offered. There's going to be a live stream from Man vs. Meeple that's already linked on the page as well. And they're going to give you, well, center decks from every previous Ascension set available as an add-on. So they'll give you everything you need to play with those card types, rules, components, anything else you might need, except for like, well, sort of very similarly to what they did with DC deck building, where they give you like the cards and not any of the extra superfluous stuff. I sort of wish Anne's End would do that with one of these campaigns. So Tabletop Simulators got some Ascension. You can get all the pre-campaign looks at the arts, and it actually looks pretty cool right now. So there's not a whole lot of other concrete info on what's actually going to be different, or, you know, if you've never played Ascension in like a decade like me, why should I get back into it now over other stuff that's come out more recently and been more updated? So I'm intrigued. We'll see where it goes, and we'll go from there. The other one is the sequel standalone expansion to Catapult Feud. This is Jurassic Feud, right? Where, I mean, you're doing crossbows and catapults in that form, sense, shape, literal, and you're just having dinos instead of, well, normal stuff. So Vesuvius Media, they put out a little bit more stuff. I mean, it's ready, aim, launch, knocking stuff down with boulders and choosing your warriors. You got prehistoric style now with dinosaur pet weapons to launch boulders to destroy their fortress, knock them over, and you win, right? I think this had some exclusivity the first time around in Catapult Feud. Again, it's one of those that in theory, I think my kids would like enjoy, but like as a parent, I'm going, oh my gosh, it's kind of like my kids' kinetic sand right now. My wife had bought this kinetic sand, right? Because it doesn't dry out like Play-Doh. You can leave it out. It connects back up to each other, right? And so it was fantastic. And then she brought it inside, and then he's playing with it on the carpet, and boy howdy, even when it connects, right, it's a pain in the butt to get out. And then he decided to get water out. So guess what color the edges of our carpet are right now? They got stained because it got stained off of the kinetic sand onto our carpet. So the ridges on the edge of our carpet next to the hard surface are red. It's a deep volcanic red. And every day It's just, anyway. So one of those things you think is going to be good, but is it actually going to fit where you're at lifestyle wise? And that's one of those games in that sense. So that's it for crowdfunding, right? One or two other small ones. Obviously, I'll cover whatever else launches too next week, but everything else in between. So what's on the hotness? Well, Arcs is still killing it all over the place. Reddit is posting a review every other day, it seems like, of people that are loving it for the most part. So again, check it out as well. I think Shut Up and Sit Down put a second video out talking about the campaign and their love for that as well. So that's why it's getting a lot of clicks right now. Luthier is second on the hotness right now because Paverson Games just launched it this week. Yesterday on my roundup, I covered it, and then I will be having a video sometimes during the campaign because I just got my copy in the mail this week. And so we will have a little bit more information from yours truly, secondhand and second-rate opinions going forward. Still on the hotness, Slay the Spire. Again, just covered by, no pun included, saying that it's better than the video game. I can't speak to it, haven't played the board game. So I guess my only concern, again, still with that is when the video game is $6 and the card game, even though it's multiplayer, which is probably the coolest aspects as a whole, is going to cost me 120, plus or minus shipping. That's a big difference for me. And I have too many games to play already with not enough people and not enough time. So I won't lie to you, I want it. But am I going to end up with it anytime soon? Maybe, maybe not. Civolution, which is an upcoming one from the combination of what looks like Pegasus Spiel and Deep Print Games, has been lurking last week and this week on the hotness, merging your countless possibilities of evolving your Civ game with a 4 weight rating on Board Game Geek and somehow going to only play an hour and a half to 3 hours, right? Hold the rank of deity, right? And you got to lead your civilization to success over everyone else. Cultural, technological improvements. You get an exam after 4 eras and you get the most points you pass and become a member of the Technical Academy of Creation. I have no clue what that means. And you garner the opportunity to be promoted to the next instance? Dice selection mechanism triggering action tree, tech tree like structure. Best use your dice to get your cards in play. Whew. A lot of keywords there. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. So 4x civing on steroids-ish? I don't know. Not really probably 4x. It's probably like 2x. It's getting some clicks. People are liking it. It's on the hotness, but I mean, it's Feld. So Spiel, Gen Con, when are we going to see news about it? More leakage? I guess Essen at this point, but if I can speak correctly. Saltfjord is a reimplementation of Santa Maria as well, coming out from Porta Games in the near future. Probably along the same lines of your Essen style, because again, you have Santa Maria, which is more of a dice drafting mechanistic game. But that's really the only similarity they're saying based off the Board Game Geek description. To add replayability, it's a weird disclaimer to put in your description. Lots of variable elements in the setup. Okay, increased setup time is what I read in there. Special abilities, end scoring tiles, Norwegian fishing village, and completely resigned and expanded with new elements as a whole. You get a grid, you draft a die, you activate all the buildings in the row or the column corresponding, erecting buildings in your settlement, and you can act more as you play more. So do you have interest of that? I mean, that's kind of interesting. This is from the people who bought you Santa Maria, as well as more recently Revive. So do you trust them to put out something else along these lines? And again, I'd wager this has Essen written all over it, or at least for like early preview copies as a whole. Hegemony is still going on the hotness. That's because their upcoming game, New World Order, is going to be coming to crowdfunding. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to tell you the date, but it's coming later this year. Somewhere between Q3 and Q4-ish. So I'm imagining that's part of the reason that you're getting some clicks there from that side of things. Still just sitting on there because, again, Paverson's adjacent to Luthier is probably driving that up as well. And then you just got your usuals that have been sitting around there for a while. Your Dune Imperium Uprisings, your Heat Pedal to the Metals, and then obviously your Harmonies, which I'm still not able to get a copy of. And then Weirdwood Manor sitting lonely at the end there as well, because that's just literally getting delivered as we speak. Then one other at the very bottom, lurking on and off the hotness as well this week, River of Gold, strategy, worker placement, contract, developing, conquesting, area influence, variable player power that isn't over yet in North America, which again has Essen written all over it. Movement of the river to gather your resources, giving you a little bit of interaction and experience to make you feel a little bit disputed at times to get what you need, but not actually necessarily doing some take that. So UK Games Expo had a little coverage of it, so we'll probably see more of it in the near future as well from that side of things. like I said, fast and furious week. That's all that's going on, and that's all I've got going on. I am solo parenting and working all weekend. It is going to be crazy intense, and I'm already exhausted before it's even happened. So it's going to be fantastic. And then I am going to try and play some stuff, and I will shortly have a review out, like I said previously, of a few games, one of which will be Foundations of Metropolis, one of the games that's going to be on a lot of people's hotness upcoming with Gen Con. And I will do an upcoming Gen Con games to watch, not to buy video, as always. And then I will probably be putting out, again, another couple of my best played, as I mentioned yesterday, of so far 2024, my upcoming things I need to play that are having high expectations overall between now and the end of the year. Some big games on there that I haven't gotten to nearly play enough, including Primal the Awakening, which I just need to get played more as a whole. And then just whatever else I can put out, my best of 2024 highs and lows as well, in terms of surprises, news, things that are noteworthy to talk about, topics of interest, and everything else in between. So that's what I've got on the horizon. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'm trying to think of other things to talk about off the top of my head, but I got nothing. I'm trying to sell some stuff still. That's what I say every week. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Stay classy. Have a great freaking day. You do you. Do you. Have a great day. Peace out.